On January 2020, I went to the Florida RV Supershow in Tampa, like almost every year. But on my way there, I stopped at Myakka River State Park, and I liked the park and the area so much that I went back with Ili the following week. But first things first. Let's go in order. Let's go back to January 12, 2020. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. Well, it is time once again for the Tampa RV Super Show, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. Going there. Of course, you're gonna watch this probably months after, but in this video, basically, I'm gonna show you what I'm doing on the way there and what I'm doing after the RV show. The RV show will be a totally different video, so enjoy the ride. So here's the plan. First, I'm gonna take the Alligator Alley across the Everglades. Then I-75 north all the way to Myakka River State Park, kind of halfway between Port Charlotte and Sarasota. Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. We're almost there. Here we are, Myakka River State Park. And at the beginning I was mispronouncing the name. It is somewhat easy to confuse it with Port Myakka in Lake Okeechobee, but now I know. It seems very nice, as, let's face it, most Florida state parks really are. The sites are pretty private, with lots of vegetation in between. Well, isn't this nice? With all the Spanish moss. We are at Myakka River State Park. This is actually nicer than I expected. Very beautiful, the vines, the Spanish moss here. And well, here we are. Not only that, we have full hookups everybody. This is site 78, and I'm probably not even gonna unhitch because I'm only here for one night. This is nice. I bought this stuff a couple of days ago. What do you think? Should I have one or two? I got the grill going out there already. Ooh, Minitini is dirty. Two, of course. Baby back ribs and an IPA. Yeah, that'll work. Well, good night. Well, good morning. Waking up at the crack of dawn here. And we're gonna go for a little hike. It's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful sunrise. And testing out this new microphone, let me know how it sounds. It's a very nice park here, actually. I love all the Spanish moss, draped trees. One thing though, there's absolutely, there's a little bit, but very, very poor cell phone coverage. So that's the one thing. It should be about a mile. They have like a canopy walk and an observation tower. Should be nice. Check out the moon. Campfire circle here. And it is daybreak. What a beautiful morning for a walk. It is definitely magic hour. Amazing trees. There it is, the Myakka River. It is supposed to be a great spot to see gators, or so I hear. And I don't see any gators yet, but there's plenty of wildlife, mainly birds. Is that a gator I see coming our way? Well, here I have walked almost 3/4 of a mile from my campsite, and I come across this bridge here, which is beautiful, beautiful views. Let me tell you, I am pleasantly surprised. I had no idea this park was going to be so pretty. It is almost magical, especially in the early morning light. This seems to be a trailhead, but I don't know where it goes. And yeah, this is definitely not the one that goes to the canopy. There's one that goes to the it's called the canopy trailhead. Actually, I have offline maps here. Let me see what it's called. It's called Canopy Bridge Hiking Trail Parking Lot. So that's a little further down. All right, let's see what this is. There we go, Nature Trail. Let's do this. It is your typical oak and palm hammock forest, but it is one of the prettiest ones I've seen. Okay, canopy walk this way. This is very nice, actually. To the canopy walk first. There's a nature trail and a canopy walk, and the signage is fine. I'm the one that is confused. It's a subtropical paradise. Haven't really seen any wildlife, but Robert, be careful what you wish for. But I'm thinking I should be able to see deer. I'm okay without seeing alligators, seen them before. But oh, look at that, that's the tower. And the canopy walk. They have brochures. Maximum limit, 4 people. All right. Shakes a little bit. That was a cool experience, the swinging bridge. Now, let's go all the way to the top. Might as well go all the way to the top, right? Yeah, my phone just started going non-stop. I guess there's a cell phone signal up here. So my phone is like ding, 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 ding. Oh, wow. Probably the highest point in this part of Florida here. Ooh, here's a nice view. A little hazy this morning, I see.
In any case, it is really cool to see it from this perspective, especially at a place where drone flying isn't allowed. Okay, this was fun. Let's go back down.
Well, as you've seen, it's absolutely beautiful up here. And we're so lucky to have such a perfect weather day here today. I'm gonna go down and see what else there is to see. But yeah, this is quite a sight. Lightning rod, perhaps?
What a beautiful place this is.
Yeah, I gotta love that Spanish moss.
I only booked one night, but this place definitely deserves more. I want for really to see it, so we'll probably be back in a couple of weeks.
Alright, this was a nice little hike here. I've hiked 1.45 miles.
Let's do another little hike. It goes to this other viewpoint on the bank of the river. Well, it is a beautiful view, no doubt about that. Yeah, the wildlife is amazing here. At least the birds and some snowbirds too.
Well, this was definitely worth the little extra hike. I really don't have much else to do today. Checkout time is at 1 p.m. I'll probably be out of here before then. And maybe go by Siesta Key with the trailer in tow. Maybe find some oversized parking down there. I thought that was a gator, but well, yeah, I haven't seen any gators, which is odd. They usually come out in colder weather. Before we continue, let me tell you about Surfshark VPN. And perhaps you're at a nice campground like this one. Perhaps there is a free Wi-Fi, free and secure Wi-Fi. And VPN, it stands for Virtual Private Network. When it does, it creates a private, secure connection between your devices and the internet. And that's its main primary function, and it has other features. It has like a clean web option that blocks ads, and the other cool feature is, let's say for example you want to watch your favorite Netflix show and it's not available at your location, no problem. You just go into the app and you change your location virtually.
Now I have a special offer for you. If you go to surfshark.deals/myrv, follow the link in the video description, and you type promo code MyRV at checkout, you get 85% off and 3 months for free.
And I want to thank Surfshark for sponsoring this video. And we're back.
Alright, let's hit the road. Before we continue, I want to drive around the park a little bit, go to the other side, see what it looks like. There are supposed to be boat rides and all kinds of good stuff. By the way, very congested, this area around the bridge now. There must be some wildlife. There's a gator. Yeah, this is a very nice park and pretty big. It is a good 5 or 6 mile drive to the other side of the park, and with the slow speed limit, it feels a lot longer. And here we are, Lake Myakka. And here is where they rent you canoes, and they have boat rides, There's like a cafeteria too, but not very RV friendly, I don't think. I mean, I don't even think there's like an oversized parking area. Maybe towards the end, but I don't know if I want to risk getting stuck in a dead-end situation. Let's just go back. Actually, might as well go to the end of the road and exit the park through the north entrance and see a little more of the lake here. Uh-oh, this is no good. The north entrance seems to be closed.
Yeah, it's funny how I always get myself into these situations, huh?
The important thing is I was able to make a U-turn. It looked a little sketchy there for a few minutes though. Let's go to Siesta Key, but first, Walmart. I need to get some propane.
Going to Siesta Beach.
The white sand of the Gulf of Mexico. Unmistakable. There's nothing else quite like it north of the Caribbean.
Let's do it. It's pretty cold. I was gonna jump in, but it's way too cold for my taste. But hey, it is January, right?
If I was from Canada or Norway, I'd probably be frolicking in the water right now. But this tropical man prefers it a little warmer. You see what I mean? It is apparently not too cold for them. They must be snowbirds.
What are you looking at?
It is time to go, but not before flying around a little bit. Of course, it gets cloudy the minute I decide to put the drone up in the air. Let's go! There is one more place I want to see today, and that is Venice Beach. I've heard great things about it. Check it out! I have my own bay. I've heard many great things about Venice Beach. The architecture is supposed to be Italian in style, or so I've heard. In any case, I'm looking forward to seeing it. There seems to be plenty of parking. In fact, I'm going to park right here. There it is, the Gulf of Mexico. And it is much quieter than Siesta Key. I imagine these are probably more local residents than visitors. And it is the high season, even though right here it doesn't feel like it. There's the pier in the distance. We ought to see it next time. Tell you what, we'll be back in about 2 weeks and explore a little more then. Alright, Venice Beach, Florida here. Very nice, actually very quiet. Very clean. I was gonna fly the drone, but it said something about first responder activity in the area, so I didn't want to risk it. And I was gonna wait for the sunset, but to be honest, I want to make it to Tampa. But as it is, it's already gonna be dark by the time I make it to Tampa. Definitely a very pretty town. Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah, I'm riding, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free. In my experience, one of the best places to overnight in a city is Cracker Barrel. Sometimes, even when the Walmart next door will say no, Cracker Barrel will welcome you. They usually have oversized parking in the back, and they have great fried chicken.
Here we are. Got a camper van, big Class A, and we are right next to Lazy Days.
For the next few days, you know what happened. The Florida RV Supershow, that yearly pilgrimage I've only missed once in the past 8 years. I met all kinds of cool people, stepped in and out of all kinds of rigs, became a Winnebago brand ambassador, and the rest is history. The Tampa show is always fun, not only because you get to see all the new rigs, but because of all the people you meet, both for business and for pleasure. I know we had a great meetup at the pavilion, and even after the meetup was technically over, a few of us stayed at a table, sharing stories from the road for another hour or so. And as I've said before, meeting those of you who watch and hearing your stories is the most fulfilling part of it all. So what's next? Well, the next weekend I decided to return with Ili. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, and 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah, I'm riding, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free. Well, yeah, I liked it so much last week that I decided to come back. my RV. Well, it is Friday, so the first thing we're going to do is go to the Venice Beach Pier to do my customary live stream. Riding, my RV. Here we are. Now, let's try and do that live stream.
Well, hello everybody. As you all know, there wasn't enough bandwidth at the campground, but here there seems to be, and this is going to be a short live stream, a short kind of impromptu live stream. Here we are in Venice, Florida, and back there it's called Sharky's, our sunset from the Gulf Coast of Florida here.
Well, yeah, that was a successful live stream. Now let's go eat.
Shook Haven, that's probably the name of the...
We're having a local IPA, as we usually do, sitting at the tiki bar with a view. Doesn't get much better than this. And we're having a lobster and artichoke dip, and the shrimp nachos, simply amazing. And the band begins to play as we're getting ready to leave.
Well, unfortunately, the band started just as we finished eating, but we might be back tomorrow.
Well, good morning from Myakka State Park. Just doing a quick walk around the campground here, seeing what's everybody got, all the different rigs, and check it out. Does this look remotely familiar? Yeah, this is exactly how Minitini looked 5 years ago. They have the larger propane tanks, but other than that, that's stock Minitini.
Let's go explore a little bit, and we're gonna do many of the same things I did 2 weeks ago, but somewhat differently. For example, last time I didn't get to experience the majestic flight of the great blue heron. Or an alligator, mostly submerged, as they usually are. What is that? Fascinating. Also, today we decided to drive instead of walking all the way here. Slightly different view today, different colors, less haze. Okay, last time I didn't do this part of the trail. Let's drive all the way to the lake, since last time I had the trailer in tow and I couldn't park. Let's check out the Pink Gator Cafe here real quick before we continue. I don't think we're going to eat here, but it is not bad. Basic, but nice. We're gonna go into town for lunch. Someone recommended a restaurant called The Crow's Nest in Venice. Very heavy traffic here in Venice.
This is called the Crow's Nest. Up top, IPA from Sarasota. That's a lot of paprika on the top, and you get a shot of something. We got the Captain's fried combo. Everything fried, just because.
Let me tell you, very nice place they've got here. And very nice views of the Venice Inlet. Yes, very nice indeed.
Fly, pelican! No, it's a lazy pelican.
It is such a beautiful day here. And the pelican, such a great bird the pelican is.
I knew that if I wore this shirt, I was gonna see some pelicans, and there's plenty of pelican here. They're all fighting for the same fish. Look at it, look at it. Fly, pelican! Beautiful day here in Venice Beach, Florida. Lots of pelicans. This is the reason why, in theory, I would love to have a Travado, because it just fits in a regular parking spot. Such a beautiful day here.
That would be Nokomis on the North Jetty, on the other side of the inlet. Let's go back to the pier so we can see it in the daytime.
Well, yeah, not exactly a beach day here today. It's actually kind of windy, and it's probably 60 degrees, so there's a little bit of a chill in the air, especially for our thin Florida skin. But it's a beautiful beach day in the sense of sunshine and blue skies. There's not a cloud in the sky. Let me show you all around us here. By the way, this is the Venice Beach Pier. And that's where we ate last night, right there at the restaurant. And now we're gonna continue exploring the area. Fly, pelican! Lovely birds, lovely birds.
Our next stop, Kaspersen Beach, which seems to be a great spot to find shark teeth. Go figure.
The ocean is right there.
Okay, this one is different. We no longer have that white fine sand. This one is actually very rocky, probably great for snorkeling. Yep, Certainly different, but everybody seems to be having a great time. Personally, I am more of a white, fine, sandy beach kind of guy though.
Well, yeah, apparently collecting seashells and shark teeth is a thing here. Lots of people collecting stuff from the sand. And it's a very dark sand for the Gulf Coast, I mean, in comparison with other beaches in the area. Very nice. Beautiful day here, by the way.
You see, they use this contraption, it's like a strainer on a stick, also known as a shark tooth sifter, to look for those shark teeth. Yep, it is a thing. It is definitely a thing. And it is that time of the day in which I need my caffeine refill. And check out that plane!
Well, at one point in the day, you have to have an espresso. Well, you know me, I've got to have my espresso. Well, we're gonna go back to our tiny house, Minitini the trailer, and I think we're just gonna come back to this area in another weekender trip, like we're doing now in the winter here in Florida, and explore Sarasota, maybe a little further north, Coquina Beach, there's Bradenton, there's a whole lot of things to see. Going back to the campground, and we'll see. Maybe tomorrow we'll do that boat tour if we have time. Well, good morning. Who wants burgers for breakfast? Ooh, so much smoke.
Well, that was another fun weekend, wasn't it? 2020 really started out well, and then... never mind. On our next video, Homestead, Florida. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road. I'm riding in my